Syria's political landscape shifted dramatically this week as President Bashar al-Assad fled the country, leaving it under the control of rebel forces. Groups led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, entered Damascus on Sunday after sweeping through several key regions. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro immediately drew a connection between the chaos unfolding in Syria and his own country's situation. Speaking to supporters in Caracas on Tuesday, he condemned what he called shameless extremists, pushing for a civil war in Venezuela, contrasting it with the violent breakdown of nations like Iraq, Libya, and Ukraine.
Now, regarding the events in Syria, we are observing the development of painful circumstances for the Syrian people. Now, the shameless extremists are calling for a civil war in Venezuela too. I tell them, don't make a mistake, because the people of Venezuela, in perfect fusion, popular, military, and police, will triumph on the path of peace. In Venezuela, there will be peace, stability, national unity, and the Constitution will prevail. Not Iraq, not Libya, not Ukraine yesterday, not civil war today. No, 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 no.
Maduro's speech comes amidst growing opposition-led protests against his government, as tensions rise over his administration's grip on power. Despite international criticism, particularly over Venezuela's economic and political crises, the president positioned himself as the defender of his nation's sovereignty, warning that any attempt to destabilize Venezuela would be met with resistance. He cited historical precedents, recalling the US invasion of Iraq in 2003, NATO's bombing of Libya in 2011, and the 2014 Ukrainian revolution as examples of Western interference that he believes have destroyed other nations.
We have faced ambushes, psychological war, political war, economic war. We have faced conspiracies. The empire and the fascist right have run out of their conspiracy handbook. They have applied everything against Venezuela. Every time something happens in the world, they want it to happen in Venezuela. When the US military criminally entered Iraq in March 2003, they asked the US to do the same in Venezuela. The result was frustration and defeat for them. The result was that tranquility, peace, development, and national sovereignty triumphed.
Maduro further condemned US interventionist policies, criticizing their role in Libya's destruction and Iraq's destabilization. Venezuela is not Libya, he declared, echoing the late Hugo Chávez's promise that Venezuela would never suffer the same fate as countries torn apart by foreign intervention.
When the US entered Libya, bombed and killed thousands, they asked them to come and bomb and kill Chávez. And I remember perfectly well that our commander, facing the illness he had to suffer, told the people, Venezuela is not Libya. Venezuela is the homeland of the liberators. We love Libya. We love its people. We regret this barbaric attack, which destroyed and tore Libya apart and threw it into chaos, from which the people cannot escape, and in Venezuela, unity, peace, and sovereignty reigned.
In a particularly fiery moment, Maduro referenced the 2014 coup attempt in Ukraine, accusing the new government of being Nazi groups that seized power and killed innocent people. He linked the conflict to Russia's role in defeating the forces he claims are responsible for spreading global chaos.
When in 2014 the Nazi group staged a coup in Ukraine in Kiev and killed dozens of innocent people, and the Nazis who govern Ukraine took power, they were defeated by President Putin and the Russian people.
Maduro's remarks reflect a broader strategy to rally his base and deflect attention from the internal opposition. As protests continue, his narrative of external threats may serve to unite his supporters while framing Venezuela's struggles as part of a larger global battle against imperialism.